morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Good morning. Today is July 9th, and we are on the MLS tour in Provincetown
Yes,
this morning.
we are.
We are, but first,
What?
guess where we're going?
I don't know, someplace in P-Town.
No, we are going to Truro.
Again? We're going to
going
Truro
to
again?
Truro again. Yes, we are off to Truro because we love Truro.
I thought you said.
I know. But I wanted to just actually do a little Truro plug before we talk about the property, and that is every Thursday night through July and August at the Truro Public Library, they have free music on the lawn behind the library. It starts at 6 o'clock. It's perfect.
I didn't even know they had a lawn.
Yes. So they kind of share the parking lot with the senior center there, Council on Aging in Truro. And so there's a big parking lot. There's plenty of parking. There's a big lawn. There's a little playground back there for the kids. And it starts at 6 o'clock. You can bring lawn chairs. You can bring a picnic basket with snacks.
Is it local artists or
it's
who is
local artists. Tonight is the Cape Cod Jazz Quartet.
Oh, wow. Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and like Zoe Lewis always comes every year, which she's like a big, fan favorite.
Yep.
And you can go on the Truro Public Library website and, find out who's coming on what weeks. But it's every Thursday, July and August. It starts at 6 o'clock. And if it rains, they go inside.
Oh,
so you
wow.
can still hear the music.
Yeah, and it's pretty big inside there.
It is big.
Yeah.
It's really big. I mean, you and I have both performed at the Truro Public Library from time to time.
Yes, we
readings,
have. Yeah.
And there's a good space down there.
I know. The libraries are really kind of stepping up their,
the game.
You don't even have to be quiet anymore because
because
the music
you go and listen to music. So yeah, it's really cool. So I wanted to just kind of make sure I got that one in there. So the first property that we're going to this morning is 16 Shore Road. It's 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It's 3,344 total finished space. It's big.
That is big. I mean, a lot of times when we go to, when Truro tends to be on our list, on our Provincetown list.
Yes.
They tend to be these little cottagey things that are in North Truro, but this is a real.
But this is a real house, and it was built in 1802.
Yep.
And it is listed at $1,599,500.
Okay.
So, kind of a mouthful with that listing price, but but yeah. So we are on our way to Truro. And if you want to follow along with us, you can click in the link below. And we will be right back.
All right.
All right.
Well.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
That is a special property.
What a gem.
Yeah. Can you read the stats again?
So it's 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 3,344 total finished space, square feet. Built in 1802.
Yeah, I mean, 1802. I don't know if I've ever seen floorboards as wide as that.
That's beautiful.
They were like, this really wide. Yeah.
They were so beautiful.
Yeah.
I know.
Where do you begin?
Where do you even
begin?
begin?
All right, I'll give you a question. Who is the buyer?
Who's the buyer? I see someone kind of like, because we met the owner actually when we were there, which she was just so lovely. She showed us around, and she talked about her parents who bought this place, and I see a retiring couple coming to town, who've summered here and are looking for something special and a place that that they can do their own thing to, but maintain that charm. So I see I do see an old, not old, but older couple retiring, couple who want to just come and be here in Truro, whether it's year round or not, and just have, you know, like their own little slice of Cape Cod.
Yes, and I will add on that they will have a very large extended family.
Yes, because it's huge.
Because they'll want
like
places
lots of grandchildren.
Right, and they'll use
Yeah.
it as like a bribe to get their family to come
To
visit
come,
them.
and it's close to the beach.
Yeah. Does it say the acreage on there?
It does. Oh, it's 0.89. So
Right, it's almost a full acre.
So it's almost a full acre.
It's amazing.
There's a couple different buildings.
There's like
There's the main house.
4 buildings.
Yeah. So there's the main house.
Yep.
Which is just so charming and lovely.
Mhm.
Look at the photos. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're just beautiful.
All the 5 of the bedrooms are in the house.
Yes.
And it was owned by a guy named Courtney Allen, who was an artist.
Yes.
And
yes.
he did the mural in the Provincetown Museum.
He painted the diorama
Yep.
that's in the Provincetown Museum at the studio there.
Yep.
Which is kind of a cool fact.
Yeah. And he so there's the main house, and then there's a studio.
A studio.
And you can see that he's got the
windows.
The windows.
Yep, for the light.
In the vaulted, sort of a vaulted ceiling, and the windows all on the sort of above the wall line, because and facing north, so you capture that indirect sunlight that
Yes.
painters love to work on, because it's sort of this diffuse, and lots of windows up high.
Yes.
And that is now a rental unit.
Yes.
And is 1 bedroom.
It's a 1-bedroom rental.
And then
unit.
there's a huge garage.
Huge garage, and it had an attic.
Yep. It had a loft space.
Yes.
Yeah. And it could be finished out if you wanted.
Yep.
It's not right now. But the garage is well built. It was built by a friend of the family, so it looks pretty well built. It could use it could use walls, like, meaning it was just frame and insulation.
Right. Yeah.
But you could put walls.
But you could put walls up there for sure. And then it had this really sweet little screen house in the back.
Yeah. She called it the screen house.
The screen house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a screen house when I was a kid.
And that's what we called it.
That's what we called it, the screen house. But they had like glass panels that were attached to the ceiling that could come down depending on the season, which I thought was a really clever.
It was very clever
use
looking.
of space.
It was old school, clever. It
Yes.
was like all the panels could be switched out to screen, and the glass ones would hook into the ceiling at an angle, so that you wouldn't have to worry about storing them anywhere.
Right.
They just
go
up.
there. Which I think is just so clever. And they had, off to the side there was so much yard. They had raised
Planters,
planters, which were great, and brand new septic system was just put in.
They
like
just
the
put
grass
that
is
in.
just growing back.
Yep.
They have a little koi pond, which is adorable.
Yeah.
She said they have a brand new generator.
Yeah.
And they also own the solar.
Yes.
So there's a lot of really, really positive things about this house.
Yeah, and I think it's a DIY-er kind of.
It is a
couple.
DIY-er. Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but
no.
they've really done a good job of taking a lot of the personalization out of the home, so you can see the original details and charm.
Yes, it was originally a bed and breakfast. She said when her folks bought it. And it still has the numbers on the bedrooms,
doors,
which is really cute.
And so the floors, and there's a few built-in, those corner built-in cabinets that go across the corner there. They have some of those in there, and they have some original details that. Then they have some other things you'd want to deal with, like I think there was some linoleum in the bathroom floors, and some carpeting in some areas up on the stairs. There was that braided carpeting. Yeah. Not huge fixes though.
No.
And unless you were the kind of person who wanted like everything tight, like tight corners and you know, tightly sealed up home,
Right.
you would have to spend a
You'd
lot
have
of
to-
money.
Yes.
But
But
if you like the charm
yeah.
of the Cape, there you really just have to have a good eye, I feel like. You need
Yeah.
to just go in there and you need to just sort of decide how to lay it out, maybe some paint colors and throw rugs, and it would just sell itself. It's just so beautiful.
Absolutely. Definitely.
The second floor, the ceilings are a little low.
They are a little low,
I'm
but
6
that's
feet
just,
tall,
you know,
and
yeah.
I could walk, but if I was 6'4", I probably would be ducking.
Yes. Yes.
So that would be one thing. Oh, and I forgot, there's a workshop attached to the studio bedroom.
To the studio, yes.
And so, yeah, that's why I was like, do it yourselfer, because
there's a workshop right there.
There's a workshop.
Yeah.
There's gardens. Like if you are somebody who in retirement, you can't sit still.
Right.
This is a home you can really live and spend your time and work and just all day long. I mean, gardens. Like if you're like Martha Stewart, this is your home.
This is
like,
your home. Oh, absolutely.
You know, that kind of person.
Who's just super crafty.
Yeah,
and
if you are a woodworker, you know, you've got your workshop. If you are, I don't know, anything, a painter or a crafter or a photographer, even you would have a studio ready for you.
Yeah,
it's. And how much is it?
It's $1,599,500.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely,
totally worth it.
No,
the whole property's for sale.
Somebody should jump on this. Like,
I just love this.
I would say, for me, like it would take a lot to get me out of P-Town.
But that could get you out of P-Town.
It might get me out of P-Town because it's just there's just so much opportunity
to do things
put
and
your stamp
to just
on
be
it.
Creative and
yeah.
It's a great property.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in seeing 16 Shore Road, please click on the link, reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk to you about it.
I think I have.
You have somebody in mind?
I think so.
Okay, Nate's gonna go make a phone call. No. So the next property we are off to see, we're going back to P-Town.
Okay.
We're going to 558A Commercial Street.
Okay.
And this is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath.
Condo? Oh, is it condo or single family?
It's a single family.
Okay.
It's 1992 total finished space.
Okay.
It was does it say when it was built? No. Oh, yes, sorry. It was built in 1890. So it's
okay.
And
how much?
It's listed at $3,195,000.
Yep. That's the difference.
That's the difference. Truro and P-Town. You just go 15 minutes one way.
I know, and
there
double
you go. Double
more,
the money.
really.
But you know, we haven't seen it yet, so it could be a completely different thing.
I'm sure.
But so we're gonna go take a look at 558A Commercial Street. It's hard to say. But and we'll get back to you. If you want to follow along, click on the link, and we'll see you in a bit.
We're back.
We are back. So we just came from taking a look at 558A Commercial Street. I was mistaken. It is a condo. It's not a single family. It lives very much
it feels
like a single family.
Yeah.
It's a big standalone unit.
And it's a condo of 2.
It's a condo of 2. And it's kind of interesting. Like that condo is there, but you don't really see it. It's very separate.
It does live like a single family.
It really does live like a single family.
When you look at the house from the front, the curb appeal is fantastic.
Oh my gosh, it's
and the
so
condo
lovely.
is on a path around the left of the house, and you don't see it at all.
No, you really don't see it.
And it's not really even attached. It's sort of attached.
It's kind of attached through. If I'm understanding, through the kind of like the storage space below.
Yeah, there's a shared basement area. That is also there's a shared common area, but there's also a separate private basement just to this unit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was saying to Laura that I haven't been to this house in over 20 years. This is a house of a friend of mine, Bobby Kelly, who has. He's also a real estate agent in the Boston area, and he's been coming to P-Town for decades. Yeah. And I met him through my first husband, And he was having a big party at the house, I remember, and that's why I was there. And I see Bobby now at Relish all the time because he comes in and buys up all the Pop-Tarts.
But he talked about the Pop-Tarts
he was
right
there.
away.
And he wasn't actually selling his own house. He had
Yeah.
a colleague representing the house for him, but he was there on the side. And so we went and talked to him. And,
Yes.
yeah. What I liked about that story is he leaves one, I'll buy like all the Pop-Tarts,
Yes.
but then leave one to
For the-
give to the
to-
next person who asks for free,
Yep.
just so he doesn't disappoint them. Which
That
is sweet.
so sweet.
I know.
I love that. I love that.
So tell us about the number of bedrooms and that.
So there are 4 and 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
Okay.
Can I just talk about the view for a second?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, let's lead with the view.
The view is, it's breathtaking.
It really is.
It really,
Yeah.
really is. I mean, the living room has this beautiful, large window, and you can see Long Point from so many rooms in the house. I mean, it's just
Every room but the
stunning.
kitchen, I think.
Every room but the kitchen.
And the bathroom, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. The bedrooms are they're large.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some king size beds in those rooms. I thought the bathrooms looked updated and nice, and the beams on the ceiling were beautiful. The floors were beautiful. I really enjoyed this unit, and I can see, a couple coming in, and it would make an incredible second home for, people who live in the city, who want to be in P-Town. Like, you're in a great spot. You're in the East End, which I love the East End. And it's just a great spot.
Yes, and I'll elaborate on the view.
Yes.
The reason, the thing that couple things that make this view spectacular. One of them is that it is, so even though this house is 558, and if you spend any more than a few minutes in P-Town, you learn that all of the even numbers are not on the water side.
Yeah, they're on the other side.
All the odd numbers are on the water side.
Mhm.
So when you hear 558 commercial, you already know it's not on the water side.
Right.
So if it's not, maybe it does not have a view. So, when you go in and you see a view like this, it's spectacular.
It is.
And it's because the house is lined up with a straight shot through 2 properties across the street that are not obstructing any view.
Right.
And also there is beach access.
Yes, I was
there.
just going to say there's beach access right across the street.
The other thing that helps with the view is that this house is set up from ground elevation
Yes,
a bit.
it is.
So you do climb a short set of stairs to a raised patio, and then you go into the house.
And then you go into the house.
And then the other thing, which is not true, there is not a view from every room in the house, because I forgot, the basement is partially finished.
Yes, you're
So
right.
there are
Okay.
2 bedrooms.
Well, there's okay, so not downstairs, but on the other levels.
Yeah, the other 2
There's-
levels.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's 3 levels. So you have a basement level, but there is one of those egress windows in each of the bedrooms that are let light in. They're like these garden windows, sort of.
Yes.
And
yes.
they're, it has to have an egress, so it's big enough for you to fit through and let light in, or put some plants in there or lighting in there if you want to do something nice.
Yes.
And then on the main level, there are no bedrooms. There is a full bath on the main level, and each of the bedrooms on the lower level have their own bath.
Yes.
And then upstairs, there are 2 more bedrooms.
2 more bedrooms.
And
Yes.
1 bath.
One
with
bathroom.
2 sinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you've got a 4-bedroom, 1, 2, 3, and 4 bath situation. Property card says 2 bedrooms.
Yes.
So I'd want to get to the bottom of that.
Because you don't want to.
The list agent said that the town was fine. So these are the things that as agents that we will do.
Yeah, that you want to just check and make sure that is. That is correct.
You pick up on these little things, and you're like, oh, that's a little flag. We need to check into that. So that's something that we'll do.
Right.
The front yard is beautiful, well maintained, manicured.
Front yard is beautifully well maintained.
It's got a very cozy feel.
Yeah.
And so you're inside and it's cozy, but then you have this view that gives you this feeling of expansive.
Yes. Yeah. And there's room in the driveway for 2 cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Condo fees are reasonable, $300.
Yeah, it's about $300 a month. There's splits all throughout.
Yep.
It's a beautiful property. Love it. So if you are interested in seeing 558A Commercial Street, please click on the link, reach out. We would love to show it to you, talk to you about it. Okay. So the next property we are off to see this morning is it's actually the last property.
Okay.
This is 484 Commercial Street, Unit 3. This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo. It's 454 square feet total finished space. It was built in 1890. We're seeing a lot of really older properties today, which is really cool, which I love. And it is listed at $739,000. So if you want to follow along, click in the link, and we're going to go take a look at 484, and we will be right back.
Well, what did you think?
So I love where it's located.
Yes. East End.
On the other, the opposite side of the Bayside on Commercial Street.
Yep.
And to me, it lives a little bit bigger than 454 square feet.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that.
It felt really open.
Yeah.
To me, you walk in and you enter from like the driveway.
Right.
And the listing agent wasn't there, so I don't know off the top of my head how many parking spaces are there.
Okay.
But I'm assuming there is a parking space because there is a driveway.
We'll
have to check on that.
Yep.
But you go in, and the bedroom is right there, and it's very open, and and then the bathroom is straight ahead.
Yep.
And then you sort of turn the corner and you walk into the kitchen, and there's a very big, I feel, for a 1-bedroom condo on Commercial Street. That living room was big.
Yeah. No, you can hang out there.
You could definitely hang out in there. The bathrooms and the kitchen, I felt could use some updating.
Yeah. Overall, I think it needed updating.
It needs some updating, but you could absolutely move right in.
Yeah. You could definitely.
Absolutely.
You don't need to do anything. No. And it's clean. It's it's just
very clean. It doesn't look old. It just looks dated. If you know what I mean.
I do. It doesn't look worn.
No.
It doesn't look worn.
No, it doesn't look worn.
It looks kept well.
It does.
But it is dated. The stuff is dated.
Yeah. I think it's a great property.
Who's the buyer?
Who's the buyer? I think it's somebody who, probably a single person I see, or a couple, who don't mind sharing, a smaller space, probably a New York couple, who want to come up certain amount of time in the season, and can do some rentals. That's the person I see. What about you?
Unfortunately, at 739,
739.
This is an entry-level unit
It
for
is.
P-Town.
It
and
is. Yes.
It's small. You know, it's a single person or a couple. And it does need some updating.
Yeah.
So in P-Town, again, if you wanted to update the kitchen and the bathroom, you're probably looking at minimum 30 to 40,000 of updating. So I also take that into consideration when I think about the price. Is it worth $739? So if say we put in, let's say 40, just because it's P-Town. So if we put in, so then we have a $780,000 unit.
Yes.
And that still feels okay, right?
Yeah.
For that size and where it is.
It's on Commercial Street.
Yeah. And it's not too far east. It is far east, but it's not all the way.
No, it's not all the way. It's, you could definitely.
It's a walk. You can walk.
Oh yeah.
Like there are certain parts of Far East where I'd be like, you're definitely biking.
Yes,
at the very,
but
very end.
not here.
You could walk.
No, you could walk to everything.
And so yeah, that's what I say. At $780 after you put the money in for the updates, I still feel like it's worth that. So it's probably priced right.
I think it's priced very well.
And if you're getting a mortgage, you're probably going, as we've talked about in our podcast on rentals, you are not really going to make money.
No, you're not really going to make money, but you're going to.
And my benchmark rule for rentals is $2,500 a bedroom per week in the high season, so 8 to 10 weeks. And so if this is a one bedroom for 10 weeks, say $2,500, you could roughly expect about $25,000 of annual income.
Right.
And that doesn't include renting in the shoulder seasons, but it does allow for some of maybe weeks you didn't get in high season.
Right.
And once you buy it and you really build your rental business, you can push that up probably another 10 to 12,000, so that when you're really running it at full speed, then you're at 35 to 38,000.
Yeah. So it's a good way to offset your costs. But like as we said, you're not gonna be making money, but you're gonna be
right.
Yeah. But I did like this unit, and I do think it's priced really well, and I do think it's a good entry level unit for P-Town.
Yeah, I didn't have that walking in and feeling like I just loved it. It was
no.
And sometimes you do,
sometimes
even with the
you
small
do.
ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know if it's probably just because it hasn't been updated.
Yeah. I think if you put in like some newer appliances and maybe just the countertops and I think it would just make that place kind of pop, because I do think the layout is kind of cute.
Yeah, it's cute, but I don't know if I agree, but
okay,
it's not horrible.
We don't agree on everything.
No. I don't think
contrary to popular belief.
I don't think it's I don't think it's
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's quite all right. I don't think that it's horrible.
Okay. Oh wow.
But I don't think it's No, I mean, I know that makes it sound even worse, but no, I really don't think it's that bad. It just doesn't, it's not this or that. It's just, it's not perfect because you kind of walk in and there's the bedroom and then there's the living room. And so it's just one of these places that's very P-Town in some ways, and maybe not like in a cute
It's
way.
not in a cute, charming way, but it's in
It's just a sort of out of
small,
necessity kind of.
Yes, yes, because it's a small unit, and you have to kind of use every inch.
Yeah.
In the best possible way.
Yeah, and I don't think it does that yet.
That I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes, but I do think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
For it to be really, really sweet. But yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for the week.
That's it for the MLS tour for this week. If you want to see 484 Commercial Street or any of the properties that we looked at today, please reach out to us. We would be happy to talk to you.
And what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Well, I might actually go to the Truro Library and listen to some music tonight.
Tonight? Okay.
Yes. And this weekend, I haven't quite gotten there yet mentally. What about you?
Well, as you know, Bear Week begins on Saturday.
That's right.
And that is a big week for this town and a big week for Nate.
Yes.
So
not for Laura,
no.
but for Nate.
A lot of friends are going to be coming through. A lot of my pasts will come before me, and good or bad.
I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's mixed, which I think is everybody understands.
Yes.
The way that could be.
Yes.
Old boyfriends, both good and bad.
Yep.
But it'll be fun. I always look forward to it.
Yes.
Bear Week's always is really great.
Oh, and can I just say that Nate and I actually got like fanned in the street the other day.
Yes.
We were walking down Commercial Street together, and this young man was like, "I love your videos," and it was really great. So if you do see us walking around Commercial Street, please don't hesitate to come and say hi.
Yep. That sounds great.
Yeah. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys really soon. Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Bye.